Bet on Bears fans, the Chicago Bears have added another name to the OC list, one that I think is perfect for what this Bears team wants to do. We'll talk about who that is and why I think he's a perfect guy for this job, no matter the situation. All that more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel, the only channel talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So Chicago Bears have hired or are interviewing for the OC job. Got to say that right. Chicago Bears are interviewing for their OC job, Kliff Kingsbury. This to me is, I know I was high on Greg Roman. Everybody was like, oh my goodness, how can you be high on Greg Roman? This to me is the pinnacle of the guys that I want to see as the Chicago Bears next head coach. And it's not just because of, for those people out there, the Caleb Williams ties. I think that there's a multitude of reasons that Kliff Kingsbury would work for the Chicago Bears, no matter the scenario. Number one, let's start off here. If the Bears do hold on to Justin Fields, I know that Kliff Kingsbury, at a minimum, we know that he can call a system. We saw him be able to do it out in Arizona. The up and down dealings with Kyler Murray there, but still being able to put some good offenses on the field. Issues with that team were defensively, right? Were they going to be able to do enough defensively? And I think, honestly, like Kliff Kingsbury was just kind of one of those guys where you even looked at it and was like, he kind of helps in the draft pretty well. But then on the flip side of it, you'd be like, I don't think people like him there. I don't think that he's a good head coach as a leader per se. I don't think people want to deal with Kliff Kingsbury in the long term as a leader. And maybe he's learned from that situation and changed some of the things about himself that seemed to rub people the wrong way in the Arizona franchise, right? But at a minimum, I'm not bringing him here to be that. He's currently a USC senior offensive analyst, basically an OC there as well. And he's somebody who you're bringing him in knowing that he has experience calling plays against the defense in the NFL, knowing that he's going to be able to put guys in situations that they're going to be able to go out there and be successful. And he's also coming in with already that cachet of an elite play caller. And he was that guy who was an elite play caller in the NFL. I think when you pair that up with somebody in Justin Fields, and you have to say, right, somebody who actually developed the quarterback. Kyler Murray's not a bad quarterback. I think people just don't feel like dealing with him all the time. Hey, Kyler Murray and Kliff Kingsbury kind of the same dude. They just paid that one a lot more, right? So I think Kliff Kingsbury would be an excellent candidate for the Chicago Bears, even if they did hold on to Justin Fields, because I think that he's somebody that you already know checks all the boxes. There's no questions on what he is as an offensive play caller. And I think if you can get him in the room with Justin Fields, he would continue to develop Justin. Now, of course, we know everything that's going to come with Kliff Kingsbury coming in, right? The conversation is immediately going to Caleb. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If the Bears were to move off of Justin Fields, this is one of the best scenarios that you could move off of Justin Fields in. You've already got a play caller who Caleb Williams is working with. If you were to go out and you feel like Caleb Williams is the next guy, he's the answer. He's the guy that's going to put everybody over the top. He is the next Pat Mahomes. You do your due diligence. You get this guy. This is the guy that you select. Fine. Boom. Bring Kliff Kingsbury along with him because he's already speaking a language that he understands. You already know what system he's going to be put in place in. You already know he already knows how Kliff Kingsbury coaches. So he's gotten the most out of me to this point. Do I trust him to continue to get the most out of me on an NFL scale? I would say this is the best case scenario if you're bringing in a new OC to teach a new system, because your quarterback already understands the system that he's going to be running because he's been running that already in college. I think that would be something where you're going to see, of course, there's going to be some tweaks at the NFL level. You're not going to get away with all the same things that you get away with in college, right? But can you see him continue that development down that path and keep that continuity together? That's been something that the Bears have been very big on, keeping the continuity together, keeping guys together where they feel comfortable. Does Caleb Williams feel comfortable with Kliff Kingsbury coming in and being the OC of this team? I think if you're going to make a pitch to anybody, right, and you feel that you're going to draft Caleb Williams, that needs to be the number one name. And the fact that they're putting out an interview, maybe that does mean that they're leaning towards drafting Caleb Williams. I think that Justin Fields will be here. I could be wrong. If they do end up going the Caleb Williams route, this is the safest way to have him transition back into the NFL, because it's not just bringing everybody always says, well, why don't we just bring the college OC and put him with the college quarterback that he was with and then get him in the NFL? That doesn't always work, because college OC systems work for college players. When you put them in for NFL players, it usually doesn't work as well. Kliff Kingsbury knows the adjustment that college to the pros is, because he's made that adjustment. Remember, he was the OC and quarterbacks coach at Texas A&M. He was the head coach over at Texas Tech from 2013 to 2018. And then he ends up getting the head coaching job over in Arizona. So you feel like there's a little bit of that cachet there, that this guy's going to know how to adjust his offensive scheme based on the players he's seeing. And I'm not going to lie, this is a name that out of all the names on here, Shane Waldron, Kliff Kingsbury, this is the one to me that seems to make the most sense if you were to bring Caleb Williams in. And I think there's one final reason for me why I would love to have Kliff Kingsbury here. This is probably the guy I'm most excited about, like I said, but let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. Do you like Kliff Kingsbury here in any circumstance? Would you feel like he's kind of an answer? Why do you think he wasn't the answer in Arizona? For me, I think we've all heard about the issues with him meshing with guys and different things like that. Is that something that can be solved here? Here's the number one thing for me, though. Let's say he has learned from those issues. Let's say he has improved on the belief that, you know, he's God's gift to football, right? Like, let's say he's right. He's learned how to mesh with his guys a little bit better. And he's coming in with a quarterback that you would assume that he already likes. If Matt Eberflus does not work out, I don't want everything to change again. The one thing that I think you can't do is draft a quarterback, fire the head coach, bring in a new head coach who didn't want this quarterback, continuing that same Bears cycle of suck, right? It's just a cycle of suck. Take that for however you want to. That's what we've seen here in Chicago. If you were to fire Matt Eberflus, you would have then a candidate in the building who already has head coaching experience, who's won at the NFL level, right? Like I believe, let me double check this here, but who's won at the NFL level, who can go out there and put together a scheme for the NFL level. I think that this is the best case scenario for, if we're going to move on from somebody, we've got this guy in place that's going to be able to do it. If we're going to move on from somebody, so 3-13, Arizona's first year, trying to get the win totals by year here. 5-10 the second year. It's not pretty to start off, I'll tell you that. 2020 ended up being 8-8, still moving the team in the right direction. And I believe 2021 was the year where they had probably their best season. Yeah, 11-6 in 2021, and he ended up getting let go in that 2022 season. Remember, Kyler Murray ended up tearing his ACL that year, and so season didn't go as planned for them that season. Yeah, 4-13 record. That'll do it. Yeah, I mean, that'll get you up out of there. But seeing Kliff Kingsbury have a level of success there over in Arizona, to me, that tells you that, yes, the 11-6 year, maybe it was a pop-up year, maybe it was a fluke year, but what did you learn from that? What did you gain from that? Now you have your guy. You have your answer at the quarterback position. What can you do with that? Hey, listen, I like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray very small. Like there's limitations with this guy. Apparently he wasn't studying the film. Do you already know that those aren't issues with Caleb Williams if we bring you both in together? We know those aren't issues with Justin Fields studying and different things like that. So what does that do for now your system, your scheme? What does that do for you going out there and being able to put guys in a position to make plays? I think Kliff Kingsbury is absolutely the answer the Chicago Bears need. He would be my number one candidate. I'm glad that they've interviewed him. I think I'd probably have Greg Roman too still. and I'd probably have Shane Waldron 3. But let me know how you guys feel with all the candidates that are out there right now. What are your thoughts? Do you think that the Bears should make a move on Kliff Kingsbury? I'll be down in the comments talking with you as well. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bears content. Click the links on the screen, check the links in the description below, and make sure to check out the Chicago Bears Breeze as well with JC over there dominating every day. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.